Hey guys, welcome to another episode with me, Shashank Udupa, and today I've got an exciting episode for you. We're going to talk about Cardano, which is also known as ADA in the cryptocurrency world, and it's coming up with an Alonzo hard fork. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some 7 interesting facts that you need to know about ADA, and I'm also going to talk about the hard fork in the end. So stay tuned. Now, the first thing that we need to understand about Cardano, right? Cardano was launched in 2017, but the founder was working on it right before in 2015 itself. So in 2017, Cardano, which is also known as ADA token, was often referred to as a third generation cryptocurrency. Why? Because it was building on top of what Bitcoin and Ethereum had already done, and they were trying to be more sustainable and more stable at that point. Now, the first important thing you need to know about Cardano is that it is energy efficient. Now, what do I mean by energy efficient? A big advantage about Cardano is that it's also very eco-friendly. It's an eco-friendly crypto. The reason why I'm saying it's eco-friendly crypto, because you might have seen Elon Musk recently talking about Bitcoin, that it takes a lot of energy and a lot of computing power to actually mine Bitcoins. Now, just to give you an example of how much energy goes into getting Cardano, Bitcoin, Ethereum, let's look at this, right? Cardano, basically for every use case, Cardano in a year has 6 gigawatt hours that goes into it. Bitcoin has 130 terawatt hours and Ethereum has 50 terawatt hours. Now keep in mind that 1 terawatt equals to 1000 gigawatts. Now this is the reason why Cardano is so efficient to use, is because it uses a different system compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, which is known as proof of stake, which you might have heard. It's called as proof of stake, POS. Now the proof of stake is used to verify these different transactions. Now proof of stake basically limits the number of devices verifying transaction at any one given point of time, which keeps the energy usage very reasonable. Now on the other hand, we see that Bitcoin and Ethereum are currently working on a proof of work model, which is POW, proof of work model. Now proof of work basically don't restrict any number of devices involved, and that can lead to extremely high energy usage. But we have seen that Ethereum is now shifting with its new Ethereum 2.0, it's shifting to the proof of stake model as well, which is the POS model, where you have to stake 32 Ethereum just to be a part of that network, right? So this was the first thing that we would talk about in Cardano. Now the second most interesting fact about ADA Cardano crypto is that the founder of Cardano helped create Ethereum. Yes, so basically scalability, interoperability and sustainability on proof of work networks like Ethereum are limited by the infrastructure burden of growing cost, energy use and slow transaction times, which you've seen, right? Proof of work model is not really great when we're seeing a lot of people shift to proof of stake model. Now Charles Hoskinson, right, is the co-founder of the proof of work model blockchain that was built in Ethereum, and he understood the implications to these challenges of the blockchain, and then he said, you know what, this is not going to work, so I'm going to start working on a proof of stake model, which is going to be much more scalable, much more sustainable, and should have interoperability. And he started building Cardano, right, the primary cryptocurrency for this proof of stake model in 2015, and finally in 2017 the ADA token was launched. Now the third important thing to understand is where can this Cardano token be used, right? So the Cardano is basically a very ambitious project, and there are many potential use cases for its technology across various industries. Now some of the different sectors where Cardano can be used or are being used are in healthcare, where Cardano's blockchain can authenticate pharmaceutical products to avoid the risk of buying counterfeit medications or to buy fake medications. Now it is also being used in finance, where Cardano can be used in developing countries as a record of people's identities and to demonstrate their credit worthiness. So these are some of the things. It can also be, by the way, used in agriculture, because I've seen a lot of new blockchain technologies coming into the agricultural space, where you can provide reliable supply chain tracking for farmers, merchants and different people in between. So these are some use cases where Cardano token can be used, but it is all super exciting because I want to know what's happening with the hard fork. So stay tuned, it's coming soon. Now the fourth important interesting thing to know about Cardano is that it can handle a massive number of transactions. Now what do I mean by that? Scalability has been one of the biggest problems for cryptocurrencies, and the reason why that is because earlier we did not expect this kind of adoption in the cryptocurrency world. Now if you see the adoption that's coming onto the Ethereum blockchain, it's massive, and that's why you see the gas fee going up so much as well, and a lot of people are manipulating the gas fee as well. Now if you want to buy an NFT, there are different times that you should buy an NFT, because sometimes the gas fee just goes up. Now Bitcoin Bitcoin basically processes about 5 transactions per second. Ethereum processes basically 15 transactions per second. Now this leads to slower transactions with higher fees. Now Visa on the other hand processes 1700 transactions per second. But again, Visa is not in the blockchain network. Now if you see how Cardano compares to that, in test Cardano is basically processed 257 transactions per second, which is much more than Ethereum and much more than Bitcoin. And it's planning to add another layer onto its blockchain, which is known as Hydra. Now, with this technology, with the Hydra technology, Cardano is potentially, they're saying that they can actually process 1 million transactions per second, which is quite insane, right? Now, the fifth thing to look at is that the supply of Cardano is limited. It is not an unlimited supply. Just like how Bitcoin is limited, Cardano supply is also limited. Now, Bitcoin has a fixed supply of 21 million Bitcoin, but Cardano has a fixed supply of 45 billion ADA, and I'll show it in the end. And there are currently 32 billion ADA in circulation. So it is a fixed supply. When there's a fixed supply, then if the demand goes up and the supply is fixed, then the price can usually go up. If more supply is added into this, it would create an issue. This is very similar to how you look at stocks, where if the outstanding shares keep going up, then the share price, even though it's doing really well, the share price won't go up because the number of shares keep increasing, right? So in Cardano, the number of shares will never increase. It is 32 billion in circulation, total max supply 45 billion it can go up to, which is ADA. So this alone guarantees that the price might go up. If the demand goes up, the price will go up, right? So this is something that we're looking for, especially after the fork happens. Now, the sixth interesting thing to know about is that Cardano actually takes a very research first approach. Now, one of the special things about Cardano is the development process of Cardano is basically peer reviewed. Peer reviewed means it is reviewed by a lot of engineers, academic experts who specialize in blockchain, in the cryptocurrency, in the technology world, in the cryptography world, and they're all instrumental in giving feedback about how to build Cardano, right? The major advantage that Cardano has is the peer review, because it catches all these small security issues which might become a massive issue in the future. Now, just to give you a small example of Cardano versus Ethereum, now the Cardano network basically wants to surpass Ethereum. So a lot of people are calling Cardano the Ethereum killer. Now this is because Ethereum supports things known as dApps, which is decentralized application or dApps. It also supports decentralized finance or DeFi. It also has NFT, which is non-fungible tokens, and Ethereum is awesome because it also has smart contract, right? So no one else had something like this before. Ethereum was like this monopoly player at that point. Now what Cardano is doing with this hard fork, and if it goes out really well and it actually works, then Cardano also promised to do all of these things, which is DeFi, decentralized apps, which is dApps, NFT, and smart contracts, everything in a very beautiful and special way, and maybe even in a better way. Now Cardano, because it has the proof of stake model, unlike Ethereum's proof of work is now going to change into proof of stake. But in Cardano, they're estimating that the number of transactions will be very good and will be very fast. So this is something that we're waiting to look forward. Now, next, I want to talk to you about the highly anticipated Cardano update, which is the Alonzo hard fork. So let's look at that in the next segment. Now, the Alonzo hard fork, which is the ADA hard fork, is basically broken down into 3 phases: blue, white, and purple. Now this will be followed by something known as Alonzo red and Alonzo black, which will add more users to the network and try to fix any bugs there is. Now let me go one by one. Now what is Alonzo blue, which is the first phase? So Alonzo blue will basically introduce smart contracts to the network, similar to that which is there in the Ethereum network. So basically smart contracts come in the Alonzo blue. Now the Alonzo update will enable basically users to create and deploy smart contracts on the Cardano blockchain, very similar to Ethereum as well. Now, there is also something that known as decentralized finance, which is DeFi, automated lending, and any other use case which is built around smart contracts can be used on Cardano as well. Now, not only that, what they're also doing is that Cardano can now mint NFTs, right? Cardano can now be used to mint non-fungible tokens. And if you have seen OpenSea or OpenSea, the world's largest NFT platform, they basically saw $1.5 billion in trading volumes in just 1 month, right? This is the massive scale that's happening currently right now. Now, the second phase that we're looking at is Alonzo White. Now, Alonzo White is basically an expansion of Alonzo Blue. The platform will take these features introduced in the previous update and try to give it to more users and continue testing them. Basically, this is like a scale test. And the third phase, which is Alonzo Purple, is the final public test, which will see thousands of participants coming on board to the network. Now, the purple phase is basically split into two phases. One is light purple and one is dark purple, which will increase the complexity of these smart contracts. Crazy, right? Now, the new update basically is supposed to happen on September 12th, which is I think tomorrow from the day I'm shooting this. And Cardano has been often called the Ethereum killer. And Cardano currently has a very few use cases right now, but I want to see if they manage to pull this fork off and they manage to finish Alonzo Purple with dark purple phase. What might happen next to Alonzo with the hard fork is something very important and something that's interesting to see. Right now, what I'm going to show is I'm going to show you something here, right? Which is I just want to go through the price of Alonzo. So Cardano currently is trading at 192 rupees on CoinSwitch app. So you can go check it out there. And there's a beautiful article where you can go read everything about Cardano and how it came up with an ICO, what happened during its ICO in 2017, where it raised $62 million. And if you look at Cardano's price today, as I told you, in INR is 192 rupees and in dollars it's 2.43, and Cardano has been going up quite a bit. And if you look at the circulating supply, the max supply is 45 billion and the current circulating supply is 32 billion. So these are some of the important things to look at. And if you look at the last 3 months to 1 year chart for Cardano, it has been going up. Why? Because now about this new fork has coming in, so a lot of people are looking at the future possibilities. If you look at the past year to date, which is from 2017 when it launched, not year to date, let me do all. See, from 2017 when it launched, it didn't move much. For literally from 2018 to 2021, it did not move much, and now it's actually moving because of the hard fork. So this is actually something very interesting. I want to ask you guys, what do you think about this Cardano Alonzo hard fork? Do you actually think it will be an Ethereum killer? I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about maybe 1 year later. Will it be an Ethereum killer? Even if it's not an Ethereum killer, do you think it'll eat into a lot of Ethereum's users and people will start shifting? And I know for a fact, a lot of people are getting irritated with Ethereum. All the people who have been using blockchain or have been buying NFTs, you understand this problem of high gas fees. It's very annoying. So will a lot of people start shifting to Cardano because it's cheaper, because we like being cheap, not obviously spending too much of our own money into gas fees? So will Alonzo fork update actually boost Cardano, and will Cardano become an Ethereum killer and maybe take Ethereum's place in top 2 instead of top 3? Right? I want to know your thoughts on that, about the future of Cardano. And if you like this video, this is a short video, so if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you soon, guys. This is me, Shashank Udupa, signing off.